Hi, fam. How are you guys? Hi, Carlos. Are you there? Because I can see your message. You said hello. You said you're in Ethiopia right now. What are you doing? What's up? Like, what? Why are you in Ethiopia? Just to visit, or is it work related, or what? Okay, fam. As always, let me know if you can hear me and see me. I feel like I'm really close to the camera. Let me see. I feel so close to you guys. Hi, Carlos. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Hi, Kevin from Florida. Hi, Suzanne. Oh, it's so nice. You said you're in Ethiopia visiting your fiance before heading back. Is she Ethiopian or what? Hi, Yaya. Welcome. Nice. Fear said he'll be back to Kenya in 2024. Hi, Hayward. Welcome. Hi, Susan. Oh, nice, Carlos. Hi, Wapi. No, I was too close right now. You see, I adjusted myself and the green screen is showing. Why is this thing not working? Because I'm using a green screen, see? I see green everywhere. Anyways. Hi, King Lion Crown. How are you guys? Can you hear me and see me okay? I think you guys said yes to that. I don't need to keep repeating that. So how have you been? There's a lot that has happened. Quite a lot. Happy Thursday to you too, King Lion Crown. Where do we start? I feel like I'm far enough now. I think it's my pillow that's showing green, you see? I can disappear. Okay. So, hey there, Turbo. Hi, Platinum. Hey, A. Roddy from East London. So, fam, do you guys want to talk about the South African delegation that was held up in Poland? Would you like to talk about? Okay, let me give you guys the option. So we can talk about as I said, Poland claiming that it was not racism. Mali. I posted yesterday, I believe, a video on Mali asking, not necessarily asking, if you're saying without delay, I need you to leave my country. So demanding the UN peacekeeping mission leave their country. Would you rather we talk about, I'll give you one more option. Which one do I want to give you? Or which there's so many, but I'm thinking I don't want to talk about this. I was going to suggest the migrant ship that went missing, that sank, and then so many people died. But I mean, what's there to talk about? Our people get deceived. Some of them, they make the decision. They're like, it's better to risk my life to live my situation. And they contact this like agencies that don't care about their lives. They promise them the world. They make them pay a lot of money. They sell their land, their cars, everything, and they flee. They go to these ships that are not even safe to board. And then we hear every other day, this ship sank and this many people are missing, this many people are dead. And it's just, it sucks. But yeah, that's pretty much the same story, unfortunately. Unless we change the situation that they are in here on the continent, what's it's just sad. Honestly, it's just sad because if everything went well where they are, or if they thought that they have a chance, sometimes people believe that they can't make it when they're in their own country, and that's a lie. That's BS. I know it's going to be hard, but it's doable. We've seen so many people doing it. Like, I know it's going to be hard, I understand that, but at what cost? Like, you risking your life. Yeah, so that there's something that needs to be done there. Just, I know there's a lot like to unpack, as in first working on people's minds, and then secondly you have to work on their situation, which is the government. And then the government, how do we make sure that they serve us instead of us serving them? If they're not really serving us, how do we get rid of them? Like, there's so much that goes into it. Not just that, also I think soft power and media really has impact on that, to show people that it is doable. You can do it where you are. Look at this and this and this and this, how they were able to do this. So please, like, don't risk your life. Please just don't do this. Don't trust the hype, yeah, but maybe that's something that you take time and have a conversation on, like in a longer format, like not just like this happened kind of format. Oh, and we can also talk about President Tebboune. I don't know how to pronounce his name, the Algerian president, talking about how, like, he making it known that he wants to be, not wants to be, but he is friends with Putin and Russia, and like, we got you kind of vibe. What else? Yeah, so which one would you guys want to talk about? I see a lot of comments. Oops, I missed a lot of it. Hi, Isaac. Hi, MT. This we've talked about. Platinum. Yes, and Egyptians claiming that they're not black or blackness. This we've talked about before so many times, but also there's one video I'm thinking about doing. I was not going to do it on my channel, but if you guys are interested, I can post it on my channel as well. But I am going to post it on African Diaspora News channel, and it's about like an Egyptian guy dissecting all the like narratives that are in Egypt, and some of them he's debunking. And I thought his approach was really done well. Plus, he's Egyptian, so. Grape Shot said, yes, the Polish, along with the Ukrainians, are some of the most racist and anti-Black. If you're Black and of African descent, I would avoid Eastern Europe altogether. And what's interesting, I guess you guys want us to talk about the Poland situation there, right? I saw 2 comments already. Hi, Jermaine. Thank you for letting me know, Jermaine. So since you guys want to talk about this, we can, okay, I see Mali as well. Okay, we can cover both then. So the Poland, let me explain for those of us that didn't maybe hear about it. So I'll start from the beginning. So what happened was, as you know, there were African countries, African leaders that came together to travel to Ukraine and Russia to hold a peace talk, right? Like, to have a conversation with Putin and Zelensky, and they're like, okay, like, let's put an end to it. That let's not even go there, because if I start talking about that, it's going to be a long one, because it's like, there's an active war in Sudan. Did you go to Sudan to talk about this peace conversation? Did you sit the paramilitary and military government to tell them that stop this nonsense, you're taking away lives and this is unnecessary? Did they do that? Ugh, like, don't get me started with that, but that's not the point, okay? That's not what we're talking about. So African leaders came together. How many were there? I believe there's 7. They came together. Among those, one of the presidents that was traveling to Russia and Ukraine was President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, right? So Cyril Ramaphosa traveled there, and along with other African leaders. And so, as you all know, when presidents travel, not just presidents, any kind of, I would say, a high top diplomat will travel with their security, with their team. They're not going to go alone like us, right? So his team was with him, which were security teams and even, I believe, some journalists. And so the Poland authorities held the plane and told the security and his team that they cannot leave that plane. It was a whole debacle. They wouldn't let them off that plane for 24 hours, fam. 24 hours. They refused. And the interesting part was they had two stories, two different stories. The first statement I read, they were saying it's because the people on the plane, some of them didn't have original documentation and they only had copies, so they're not authorized to leave the plane and enter the country. And that's what they were saying. And the second statement, which was like, if you're giving one reasoning, that's the reason, right? Another reason now they gave, I believe it was BBC, I forgot the outlet, was his security team had guns on them and they were armed, so we won't let them in because they don't have, like, we don't allow that, like their guns were not registered. And I remember even the security minister of South Africa was saying, what do you mean, like, any diplomat, as long as we have the documentation or like something to show that we're a diplomat, this never happens anywhere. Because imagine this, fam, how many leaders, not just presidents but prime ministers, even celebrities, travel with security that has a firearm. Like, it's not a new thing. It's not I would assume, right? It's not a new thing, but Poland decided to hold that plane for 24 hours, and those people were not getting out. Even a journalist that was on the plane was posting on Twitter and saying, our last fries, he posted a picture of French fries, just one, and he's like, this is the only thing that's left, and we're agreeing amongst ourselves who is going to eat it, making fun of the situation. But still, it still doesn't make it something simple, because Poland as a country is acting in a way that is going to impact South Africa as a country, because this is the delegation of the president, the security of the president. Because the security minister was also saying that they put our president at risk. Like, what if something happens to him when you're holding his security here and he's out there? Like, because the president was allowed, right? Like, he was not held in the plane. So he had to move around without his full team. This is dangerous for a president. And so it's just, so they were the South Africans and the authorities were accusing Poland of racism, and Poland came out just recently and said this has nothing to do with race, and this has everything to do with protocol, and blah 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 blah. Nonsense. I call BS on this. So that's basically what happened, and they have said that was not racism. They didn't even apologize. I didn't see anywhere any statement made by them that is apologetic, basically. Nothing, none of that. And so, yeah, that's what happened. I don't know. Tell me what your thoughts are. It was just, for me, it was just a blatant disrespect. Like, because, when you're dealing with different countries, that's how you show respect. That's why when any president travels, for example, I remember even as a kid, like whenever they come to Ethiopia, from the plane, from the airline, they'll bring a red carpet for them. People with flowers will wait for them. The ministers will receive them. Even the president, sometimes prime ministers, depending on who the person is. Like, when another leader is coming, like, there's a way of treating people. At least for us, we treat them really nice. So for them to disrespect South Africa, because if they're disrespecting the president, which is a representation of the people, they are disrespecting the people. And I thought that was just a full-on disrespectful move. And the fact that they gave two different stories and they didn't move quickly for the president's delegation. 24 hours, just imagine that. It's insane. So Kevin is saying, I want to learn more about the Mali situation. I haven't heard about the other. Was it Holland or Poland? It was Poland. But let me tell you something, Kevin. do you watch I'm gonna put you on the spot, Kevin. Do you watch my videos? Yesterday I did a story on it, and this tells me that, Kevin, you're not keeping up. So do better, Kevin. I'm kidding. So not really. Watch my videos. So Kevin, you're saying that you want to know a little bit more about the Mali situation. So as you know, we've talked about it on this channel a lot. Mali has kicked out the French troops, Mali has kicked out the German troops, and now recently they have told the UN peacekeeping mission to leave their country, and I quote, without delay. The reason that they gave is because, one, the authorities are not really agreeing, like the Malian authorities and the US peacekeepers, like there's a disconnect. But the main reason that they gave is because they said that the UN peacekeeping mission is making the situation in Mali worse. Just just marinate on that. The peacekeeping, UN peacekeeping, the peacekeepers of the world that went to Mali, they've been there, I believe, for 10 years, trying to keep the peace, as their name implies, in Mali, are being accused of by the Malian authorities of disrupting the peace, of making it worse. So that's basically what's happening. And Mali said, we're not gonna allow this to happen. We're not gonna accept this. So immediately we're going to need you to withdraw your troops. That's what they said. I haven't heard from the UN. Maybe they made a statement, but as of now, I haven't heard anything personally. Yeah. Hi, Letitia. So that's basically what happened in Mali. We'll follow up, obviously. And the unfortunate thing is, this is how you know UN Security Council is biased AF. What they did, Mali, when they were accusing the French troops of interfering in their, business, flying drones when they're not supposed to, and it's illegal. So many. They said they have so many evidence, and they even went ahead and told the UN Security Council, we have receipts we're willing to give you, but investigate what the French are doing in our country, or what they did. UN Security Council did not even entertain them. So that's the sad part. Grape said, yes, the very racist Arab Egyptians, remember they had a traffic in human what? Human flesh as well. That's where the Europeans got that. In human flesh. What is that, Grape? Okay, Kevin. Hi, Houston. Yeah, it's sad. I just did a story, I believe, yesterday, of a Tunisian woman. She's Tunisian, born and raised, but she's Black Tunisian. She was talking about how her experience has been really bad, and how she's treated badly. And it's just sad, even forget about sub-Saharan Africans going to Tunisia, but the Tunisians themselves, or the Egyptians, or people that are there in their own country, don't get treated well, and it's sad. Oh, the Titanic situation. Didn't they just say that by now they finished their oxygen, and so it's not looking good? Like, as a billionaire, though, I have a question for you guys. Like, I guess when you have everything, you don't care about, I don't know, you become more adventurous because nothing gives you that thrill anymore. Maybe that's why, because as a billionaire, have you seen the ship? Like, it looks, and it's being controlled by a game stick. Like, I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. And I've been seeing some weird conspiracies on TikTok as well. So yeah. Africa's King said Ramaphosa embarrassed us as South Africans. He likes going up and down to colonize our Europe instead of fixing South Africa and Africa. Now Ukraine says we were there begging for food. Imagine. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Oh, I'm so sorry, Africa is king. I'm so sorry. I remember um, one time when we were talking about Ramaphosa when he was invited just recently, I think after the Queen of England died and Charles became king. I think it's after I forgot, but he traveled, he was invited. I think he was even the first African leader like to officially be invited after King Charles III took his whatever kingdomship or whatever it's called. So I remember there were pictures that were posted on social media, and he's just geeking, like he's so happy. He's talking to Kate. He's looking at the key, like he's so happy to be part of that um, event or being invited. He seemed very happy. Um, No, I didn't. Bradley said, "Hello, Miss Wenger. Did you watch the Championship League final? How did it go? You let me know." Sometimes security situation creates people to go. Yeah, this is what I that makes me sad because you see, like I can't sit here and say, "Why are you leaving?" I want to stop them from going, right? But what's the best way to at least influence the few people that are around you? I remember, okay, me personally, what I used to do with like not this exile, as in not the Mediterranean route or the ship route, but the route of going to an Arab country to become a house help or a nanny. We had someone working for us back in the days when I was younger, and she would be so excited at the thought of because her friends would tell her, "We just get your passport and go to one of those Arab countries." I forgot if it was Lebanon or Beirut or one of those countries. They're like, you should go and you'll make money. And I would try to show her all the horror stories. I was not very young, I was, I think, like high school or something. I would tell her about the horror stories, show her stories, tell her like how they treat our people, how it's not worth it, how she would wish that she's here and all that stuff. And she's still in Ethiopia, so I guess it worked. So what I'm trying to say is, even though in a bigger scale us individuals might not do a lot, and we might not have the most power, but we can contribute to our society in the small way that we can, with the people that are around us, with this channel, with your group chat, you know what I mean? So with your family members, with your cousins, with your friends, at the very least, we should think about how to discourage people by not telling them lies. It's the truth. We're not lying to them, We're trying to show them what's really out there. We're trying to open their eyes into seeing that, like, there are ways to make money in your own country. I know there's insecurity, but we can make it better. If we don't do it ourselves, then who will, if we're all going to flee our situations, right? So yeah, it's sad. It's like, how do you we have to figure out a way, especially now, us. I guess it's up to us now to find a way to discourage them from going, to find a way. I remember there was a series in Ethiopia that was released back in the days of the horror stories of house helps that will travel to those countries and start working for this Arab women and their story. And it was based on a real life story, and it was a huge deal. It was a famous series, and it changed so many people's opinions on traveling abroad to work. So you see, like, all of us can contribute in some way, in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, the scale might be different, but we should not give up on our people. Mm-hmm. Yes, facts, no feelings. uh, Ducey the Great said that sub disappeared on Juneteenth. Lol, our ancestors got the link back. But I still feel bad for them, honestly speaking, because okay, they're billionaires and millionaires. I understand, but when you hear about the stories, don't you put yourself in that situation and you just imagine yourself suffocating in water and yeah. And did you see that son-in-law just going to concerts and having fun when his stepdad is missing? That should show you that money is not everything, and you can't buy love, right? Um, so okay, I feel like I've missed a lot of comments. Wow, I missed a like I'm scrolling and scrolling. I'm sorry, fam. I don't know if I'm gonna miss a few messages. Um, so Grape Shot said that. I don't know, maybe you're responding to someone. Yes, I do. Same name, Wengil Zalala. I know, me too, VIP status. It's so sad. And earlier I was scrolling online, seeing what's happening in our world, and I saw like they're talking about this guy, and I just couldn't even click on it to read the whole article. They're talking about how this guy, he's a fisherman, I believe, and he caught as he's trying to throwing his net and getting fish. He do I even want to say it? His net caught a baby. So one of those people that were fleeing with their baby. So, when your ship sinks, like how do you even hold on to the baby? It's just it's very sad. Um yeah, yeah. I Kuya saying it's sad that many of our poor people don't have the internet to see the horrors happening in Arab and Western countries. That's true, but sooner or later, like the truth will always, be revealed eventually. It's going to be slowly, but they will understand. But the ones that we can access, we have to do our best and try our best to talk about them. That's one of the reasons why I keep doing this. Like sometimes, it feels like always reporting on bad news, negative news. You might feel like what's the point? But there's a point. As much as me and you know, and me and you have talked about it, there are new people. Like every other week, don't we see someone saying, "I'm new to this channel," or don't we get comments? "Oh my god, I just followed you." Like people, there are people that have that don't know certain things. That doesn't make them less than, but that just means they haven't followed up on it. That's pretty much it. The algorithm never offered it, right? They were watching something else. But once they start realizing or going to the rabbit hole of this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, they start waking up. So it doesn't matter how tired we get, we need to continue talking about this, fam. I've missed a lot again. I'm sorry. How long have I been here? 27 minutes. Oh, good, great. I was told I pronounced. Okay, now I don't want to push because you said I did it well. I just want to keep it going, keep it moving. Let me stay with that. Ooh, that's a. I'd. Hmm. We'll have these conversations. Like, I'd rather have this conversation with someone, let's say, that really studied Malcolm X and really studied Martin Luther King. And then we sit and we observe each point. Because I understand, like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm more like a softie. I'm more like a Martin Luther King kind of girl. But I also saw that you can't fully make changes when you're that way. So I understand the balance. So I'm open to both sides, but how do we also find a middle ground of moderation? Like I'm a moderate. Let's call me moderate because I don't know. I'm sorry, fam. I'm sorry. I know some of you are like, no, we need to do this. Like for me, it's like, how do we do this in moderation? I'm sorry if you feel let down, but yeah. But I like this idea, by the way, VIP status. Thank you so much for writing this because I feel like we can do this, as in have a conversation about this. Like people that feel like they're equipped, they can both come join me on one of these live streams. There, one is here, one is here, and we have a proper conversation and we see which one will best fit our context and how do we move basically. So I love your idea. Honestly, if somebody else has also like recommendations like this, I'm open to them. What did okay? Let me know down in the comments. What are your thoughts? See you next one. Are you leaving? Or are you I don't know. Okay, anyways, fam, like I forgot to tell you, like this video as you're watching it. If you can, I'd appreciate it. Um hello, Niani. So you're from Mali? Can we have you on here someday? Because I've always wanted to talk to Malians about like the situation, like people on the ground. Like I would love to do that. Yeah, we've been fooled. That's like something that's true. Like we believe that. Thank you, Kevin. I think Kevin is saying that Malcolm's and Dr. King's message came at different times and both were necessary. I understand. That's why I'm saying I won't just be like, this one will not work completely, because I understand when you're just like, let's say, a softie and just peaceful, history has shown us. So I want to understand like both sides, right? And what they were really, really good at, and the things that maybe we don't want to do, because it doesn't mean that we have to accept everything. Like they did what they did then, and they've changed things for the better for Black people. We appreciate them, we love them. And when um, time change, even the strategies you need to use might should be tweaked a little bit here and there, I feel like. Yes. Will you bring in a guest to discuss? Yes. There was someone I was supposed to talk to today. He said he DM'd me. He wants to talk about history. He DM'd me, but I don't know. I couldn't find his DM. So as soon as like I get through to him, probably like maybe next week, I'll have him here. VIP status said, "Are you Gambian?" No. Do I look Gambian? That's nice if I do, because even in South Africa, people were telling me I look South African. So it's nice. Everywhere I go, I look like the people that are there. But I'm Ethiopian VIP status to answer your question. Regman said both have valid things to say. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Demode said it wasn't Malcolm X ideology, but Elijah Muhammad's ideology. Yeah, you'll have to come and explain to us. No, like Julius Malema said, Mandela did the best he could, it just wasn't good enough. Oh, now we're talking about Mandela as well. But even Mandela, he we can consider him, he's was more like the peaceful route, right? He's like, let's all live together, we can make things happen, let's forgive one another, right? That was his message. And I do believe, like, after reading his book and how long he was in prison and how much of his children's life he was not into, like, you can see how committed he was to his country and for Black South Africans to really have their freedom and to end apartheid. So honestly, like, for because I've heard some people say like it's because of him that we're here, he should have been more like Zimbabwe's president, whew, his name skipped my mind, but like he should have been more like him. And I understand the sentiment, I get it, but at the same time he did what he was supposed to do, and that's in his nature. Some people don't have, like, as an example, like somebody gave Malcolm X and Martin. Those are two different ideologies. Both stand for the same thing, both stand for Black people, both wanted change for Black people, but they had different way, like, approach for things, right? So I know, I get it. Like I tend to agree with Julius Malema. Like he did what he could with his own personality, with the way he perceived things, with what he thought was the right thing. Like, in an ideal world, Mandela's is the best way. Like, you're like, okay, I forgive you, but now, like, let's live peacefully. But it doesn't work like that, because all the wealth stayed with the whites. I still report to this day, report stories on how, Black South Africans are being treated. It's just sad. And when you think about it, you're like, okay, but if it was, why am I not remembering Zimbabwe? I'm really genuinely trying. What? Robert Mugabe. Oh my God, it would have really bugged me if I didn't remember. Oh, so yeah, Robert Mugabe's approach you saw. But also now look at Zimbabwe's as well. I'm not saying he did the wrong thing by, that was their rightful land by taking what he did and by things that he did, like the way he did it. But look at where they are right now, like so much sanction, in debt. They've really messed them up, really messed them up. So for me, the reason why I always maybe say like let's be moderate, or let's see both sides, or let's fix it, like, because you see, when sometimes you have this approach of it has to be done, and sometimes you will miss out on certain things. But if you have a plan, everything should be planned out. If the plan is to kick them out, did he really put in place how the land is going to be transferred, how now the black the Zimbabweans that were supposed to take the land, did they really now learn how to take care of that land so they can still produce the cattle, the whatever, like to continue the economy going? Okay, if you know what I'm trying to say, like have a system behind it, of course have a plan. The end goal is black people, Africans, the natives, getting back their own land, their own resources, their own money, their own freedom. But how do you do it in a way where there's less bloodshed? There's the outcome is going to be favorable, and you're going to continue seeing the change, positive change. So yeah, anyways, long story short, I do believe Mandela is a hero. I know some people believe like he shouldn't have that approach, but I think he came from a place of, I don't want to do what has been done to me, and I want a clean slate, and I want to move forward. Unfortunately, like, did it work completely? You know? Um, since Ethiopia created Christianity, is the Ethiopian Bible way different than the King James Version? Well, I don't think Ethiopia created Christianity. Maybe you spelled it wrongly, Bradley. But Ethiopia was one of the first, as I said before. Us and Armenia, argue who is the first. But regardless, if Armenia is the first, Ethiopia is the second. If Ethiopia is the first, Armenia is the second country to accept Christianity. And that is before Europeans knew what Christianity was. That is when like the Greeks were killing Christians left and right for following Christ, all that, like back in the days during King Ezana, right, the Aksumite Empire. And not just that, in the Bible, Ethiopia is mentioned more than 30 times, I believe, along with Egypt and stuff. But Ethiopia back then, by the way, is not just Ethiopia, like as in the current day Ethiopia. It's that part of Africa that is around the northern part of Ethiopia and the Sudan. And so when it says Ethiopia, it's more so like that area. You know what I mean? It's not just Ethiopia. But yeah, that is if that's what was your question, different than the King James? Yes, to answer your question as well, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church has about, correct me here, I know Bobby, my dad is in this comment sections, correct me, that your church has about 88 chapters, and I think the normal Bible, like the Bible that the world or the outside Ethiopia churches follow, has 66. So correct me if I'm wrong. And they have more. Yes, they have more in it than other Bibles. And also it's in the like they have the oldest one, like the Giz, which is not even Amharic, it's an old language. And so yeah, I don't know, I hope I answered. You said different. Yes, there are different things in it that the King James Version doesn't have. Okay, an interesting point. Kuya said, I appreciate both MLK and Malcolm X did. However, I believe the only solution is the one Marcus Garvey had. We need to leave the USA, not stay there and try to fix it. That's another way. See what I mean? There's always other ways to that problem, but also but the beauty is, we're in 2023. We've seen Malcolm X's way, we've seen MLK's, we've seen Marcus Garvey's, right? Like, how do we now implement it best? Like, how can it fit us best right now in 2023. They've set the blueprint for us. Let's take what we can, let's take what is doable right now and run with it. I think that's the thing to do. Sweating said Martin Luther King, soft. Mugabe, middle. Malcolm X, hard. You called Mugabe middle. That, yeah, I guess. But yeah, some people really think he was ruthless, right? Especially when it comes to white people. Platinum said VIP status AI much. Really? What did VIP status say? I missed. Kevin said we need those kind of leaders. Yes, we do. And don't forget, Kevin, we are this day and age generation, right? So like, as much as we're saying we need leaders, we are the leaders as well in whatever thing that we are doing, in whatever industry that we are in, and also we're raising future leaders. So I don't want us to feel hopeless as much as we talk about all the bad, negative, not so nice things that we talk about here or any other channel. You just have to also understand that we can do it. Like, we are also like in control of some things, of course, not everything, but yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know that, Bradley. Bradley said, keep in mind, Malcolm X changed before he died. Once he went to Mecca, he was more like Dr. King. See, I didn't know about that. I didn't know he changed. Bradley Tucker, oh, you're answering. The goat is answering, Bradley. And he said, I checked it. The Ethiopian Bible has more books than the white man's version. The white man's version, the goat said. Kuya said Mugabe was harder than Malcolm X, and Mugabe was successful. He was in what he, when you look at it this way, he was successful in what he was trying to do, which is take away like the resources and the land, right? And give it back to his own people. But now the only issue was, did he think about it past that? What did he do after that? We need to also think about that and be realistic and look at it in a full picture. He was successful at that. Awesome. Yes, great. That is what needs to happen because you stole this from me. But after that, now, what did he do for the people? So it continues. So the economy grows and the people live and eat and feed of their own land. Once it was taken, but now it's given. But what did you have plans for the people? It's not just that. He could have done so much, I feel like. But Mugabe is still such a special person. Like, this gives me an idea. I should do like a top 10 Mugabe speeches. Like, he was so hilarious at the same. He was so funny. He also knew how to speak. He was just honestly, he was one of those leaders you're like, if you listen to him enough, you're like, I want to meet you, right? Dambala said, thank you so much, my sister, for your good work. One love, Africa. Wake up and stand up. Thank you, Dambala, and thank you for watching. I don't know the goat. The goat asked, how come some Ethiopians have soft hair while some have afro hair? It is based off of the climate of Ethiopia. I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know, but there's different, like, more than you think. Like, when people think of Ethiopians, they only think one look, which is not true. We have over 80 tribes, 80 different languages, more than 80 languages. We're over 110 million population. And so the south from the north, the east from the west, the central, we all look different. So like, it's not just about the hair, but everything, color, shape, body, size, eyes, everything. So I think there's a misconception of like we look the same, but that's not true. That is so not true. Even just in my family, we look so different, everyone. So really, somebody said you look like the Fulani people in West Africa. I think for me, I love it when people think like I belong to their group, because that makes me feel like, yes, I've been telling you, we're the same. So yeah, thank you. And no, I didn't, Letitia. I didn't. I said that last time, I think. Yeah, somebody approached me, but I was not in Ethiopia when he was, so I was not able to. Maybe one day I will have a chance to have a conversation with Umar. The teacher of Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and Louis Farrakhan was Elijah Muhammad. Thank you. Good to know. Robert, I'm just seeing this now. Robert Mugabe. Yes, it came to my mind. I'm grateful that it did because I don't want people to come for me and say, "You don't know Robert Mugabe." I knew it was just, I was talking too much and for a second, my mind went blank, but I remembered by myself. Thank you very much. Okay, fam. It's only been 45 minutes, I understand, but I have quite a bit of work to catch up on. Um, yeah, see, Christopher is disagreeing, and we can all agree to disagree, which is fine. Yehuda Ethiopia said, "Hey, Wangel, how are you? Peace and blessing." Thank you so much. Peace and blessings to you too. Hayward said, "South Africa is now apartheid by another name," which is, as someone said just now, they're embarrassed to have Cyril Ramaphosa as their president because he's like always trying to please the Western world and really not focusing on his country, which is sad. But yeah, that's why maybe for a change, let's try Julius Malema. Vote for him if you're South African. Wow, Dan is like, I said what I said. um, Kevin said Malcolm's thought was by any means necessary, but I think we shouldn't criticize people for their approach so much. If we agree with the ends, brother Malcolm wouldn't have been as effective without others. Like that is what did I say? Like I agree with you. I, especially for those of us who are trying to unite, like our core values, principles align, and what we're trying to do and our intentions are the same. How we go about it might be different. We might disagree. We might have different opinions because human beings are different, Kevin. You might be like a very disagreeable person. I'm a very agreeable person, right? We're two different. But at the same time, if the end goal is the same, we have to talk about how we can make it work. My strengths are different from your strength. Let's come together and do what we can with what we have, right? So that's why, like, even when Julius Malema, if you remember, people were hating on him for that LGBTQ stunt that he did. Like, he took out a flag. Sorry, he took out a flag and he was criticizing Museveni, president of Uganda, and he's saying, "How dare you tell them like not to, not like they can't have a right? That's not good." Like he was literally going against Museveni. And I remember saying he could have done it in a better way. Like instead of protesting against his own like brother, he could have just called him, told them like I disagree with you, or made a statement. But he went above and beyond, and a lot of people were angry at him. But what did I say? I said, yes, I get your point, but at the same time, sometimes we'll disagree on certain things. Sometimes we'll agree on certain things, but at the end of the day, if our core values are matched, we can say, Malema, we don't agree with you on this one, right? But I believe like you have good intentions for the people of South Africa. So let's talk about how you can make that impact. And I know you like to unite Africans and you've talked about how we can unite Africa. So let's talk about that. But you know what I'm trying to say? We can still agree to disagree on certain things as long as our core, values and intentions are like for the same thing. I think it's fine. And yeah, I get your point as well. Um, yeah. See, Dan now agrees with you, but no, Dan doesn't. Dan thinks Malcolm's was better, so Martin's is, again, you're allowed to have that opinion. Um, okay, fam. There's a lot of, I'm literally scrolling. Oh, I saw one that says leave a like. Thank you. Um, Yeah, I like this. Fact Not Feeling said, speaking about the bad and negative is an attempt to educate to avoid that bad and the negative like in the future, like for it not to happen in the future. I completely agree with you. Okay, fam. Um, hi, Faro. Um, See, Letitia saying she was upset with Julius also. But that doesn't mean now, Letitia, I'll ask you a question. Now all of a sudden you hate Julius and you think like he will not be a good leader. Like, what does that mean, right? Like, you really have to reflect. We're human beings, right? We might have a bias or like we might be upset in the moment, but at the same time, like, does his, like, what he does, like, the good outweigh the bad? Are we really disagreeing when it comes to how he wants Africans to live or what he wants to do for South Africans, what he plans for the African unity? If it's aligning, I feel like we can continue supporting him, but that doesn't mean that we can't call him out, we can't talk about it, we can't say, hey Julius, we don't agree with you on this. Doesn't mean that, but I think we can continue, like, at least have a conversation with that person, right? Okay, fam. I want to go. Let's see what people are saying. What is it was good. Okay, watch by watch. If you want us to talk about it, feel free to come on here and have a conversation. This is for you, watch by watch. You're welcome. We can have a discussion on one of those Thursdays that I come on. Feel free to show us all the evidence, everything that you have, and we'll have a conversation about it. It was good, David. David asked how my birthday was. Yeah, Letitia said, I love Julius. Yeah, at the end of the day, we agree. So, fam. Oh, really, Yehuda? Yehuda's asking if I have a VIP section like the advice show. I'd like to subscribe to a VIP on your channel. Okay, we can do that. Honestly, if many of you are interested on that about that. Anthony said Rwandan comes from Ethiopian, like it. What? Rwandan comes from Ethiopian, like, I don't know what you're saying, Anthony. Sorry. Thank you, Welde Emmanuel. Hey, this is don't even ask me. Like, they will come for me, Eritreans and Ethiopians together. But again, everything is. We'll have if you want us to have a conversation about it. Yes, Ethiopia and Eritrea once upon a time used to be the same, but then split. But also they were never the same at some point. So like it was quite a bit of history there. So if I come and say something, Eritreans will be mad at me. If I come and say something, Ethiopians will be mad at me. Like, if you know, you know. What about the 40 children who are butchered in oh my god, yeah. But you know, they're currently saying that like there's an alarming, but last time what they said when it first happened was it was like a terrorist group because they yelled out, Allahu Akbar after they did it, and the neighbors heard the story and all that stuff, right? But today I just read somewhere that said there's an alarming like outcome from that, and they were saying that it might be like an internal thing. The reason why all those people got deleted is because somebody disagreed with somebody. It's but once they get the full information, we'll talk about that as well. Maybe next week we can talk about that, but they're still uncovering what's happening. Can I be honest? I didn't know Epstein was in Africa. It came to Africa. Epstein is that the pervert guy that just unalived himself in prison, right? Like the island and all that stuff. I honestly didn't know that he was in Ethiopia. Sorry, tell me the story. I had no idea. US frightened, but Ramaphosa should be able to stand on what he said or decided as a country. It's not just him deciding, right? Just because US said this doesn't mean everything will collapse. Like, at the end of the day, that is why you need to be a bit strategical. Like the African countries, like most of them, when they were being neutral when it comes to Russia and Ukraine, they literally were trying to be smart. it means that they're supporting Russia in a way, because they're not really going with what the Western world wants them to do, but at the same time they're not like saying it in like obvious way where they can be held accountable as well. So I don't know why Ramaphosa would feel some type of way. He's backed by his own people, except the oppositions. Just decide and stand on it. Did you hear the Eritrean president speech when he went to Russia? He's like, we're not supporting Russia just to support. We're supporting because we believe in their cause. We believe that they were provoked. We believe that they didn't do this because they wanted to. It's because they needed to. Because NATO came for blah blah blah. Like he was unapologetic. So if you're gonna do something, do it with your chest. Like, oh, Kevin said, I hope we can discuss Malema. We will. Fam, I need to go. I'm seeing a lot of comments, but fortunately I don't know if I can respond to all of you guys. Yeah, Don, he didn't give details. This is a good question because we always talk about like the diaspora and stuff. Don asked, hi Wangil, what's your take on the new Kenyan president granting visa free to African diaspora? How can this be done? Who's qualified for this? Because anyone can claim African lineage. Yes, but they didn't. As far as I know, they didn't give details. He didn't give details. He just said like it's gonna be visa free and all that stuff. So the logistics and how they're gonna, you know, go on with the process, he haven't. At least I haven't seen. So when we do see that, I definitely will come and let you know. But as of now, I don't believe there's details. He didn't. There's not. Like something you can refer to see am I eligible, am I not. So we'll see. We'll let you know though. Mercy said salam konjo. Hi. Amen Yahuda. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, VIP status said he's South Sudanese with cousins from Ethiopia. Okay. Yes, Patrick is explaining, I guess, from the previous conversation. He's saying ancient Ethiopia was a vast empire stretching across the Horn of Africa, including modern day Ethiopia, Eritrea, parts of Sudan, Yemen, Somalia, and that's true. So yeah, that's why earlier I clarified for people. But so that's why whenever people are saying Christianity is a white man religion, I'm like, bro, like most of it is about Egypt, Ethiopia, Middle East, or like Asia, which is like Israel, and like it's nothing. Like there's nothing about white people. They just took it and claim it like they do everything else. So yeah, I'm not mad at this. Letitia said we're going to change all colonizers' name on the continent maps. I'm not mad at this because I understand like the power of names, and usually when people name something, it's like claiming ownership. So I'm not mad at claiming ownership. Oh, Anthony, I have no idea. Anthony's saying, I mean, Rwandans people come from Ethiopia. Well, at the end of the day, fam, like the good thing is someone wants to come and talk about history. I'm open. Like I love learning history, but it's depending on from what time that you're looking at it, right? If you're looking at it 100 years ago, it's a different story. 200 years ago, 1000 years ago, everything changes. So of course we moved around. Of course, east, south, north, like we moved around. And so even if this is the case, which honestly, this is my first time, Anthony, hearing Rwandan people come from Ethiopia. But also, like did you hear about the story of like this was years and years ago in India? There was a community from Ethiopia. Even now, like they trace it back to that because there was a ruler in India who is Ethiopian, who was black. So like we moved around quite a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's true, but this is my first time hearing it. Bergman said a bit of yes, that's the one. Watch by Watch said a favorite of Wengi, which is Wengil. Are you saying me? Wengi is the president of the DRC. That's where child murderers came from. A favorite of what is that my name? I don't know because you didn't write it the right way. I don't know if you're talking to me about me, but president of DRC. Are we talking about President Felix? Honestly, I'm lost. I'm sorry, watch by watch. I didn't understand what you're saying, but that's where the child came from. Which ones? Who are we talking about? Oh, Robert said I'm seeing a lot of Ethiopians on Facebook and YouTube, and I like the music and the dance. Oh, that's good. Thank you. But as I told you, there are so many cultures in Ethiopia. I don't know which song you like, but yeah, there are so many. Um, yes, we just talked about this David King, but when we get more details, I'll come to you and tell you exactly what it is. But he did say that, but didn't give details. Okay, fam, I need to go. I need to go. Um, oh, we have a Bet Israeli. Yehuda Ethiopia said, "My family are Bet Israel from Ethiopia. I love my Ethiopians so much. I love all African and Black people." For those of you who don't know Bet Israel, they are the people of that are Black Jews, the ones you call Black Jews that went to Ethiopia like ages ago, and then they returned back home to um, Israel. There was an effort to take them back to there, but when you look at them, they look, Yehuda, correct me if I'm wrong. You look Ethiopian, right? Like you are like Black, but you are Jews, right? So it's that story is also quite interesting. Yehuda, if you want to come and you want to talk to us about how it's like to be a Black Jew living in Israel, let us know. We'd be interested to hear the stories of like how it is and how it feels to be a Beta Israel. I've always wondered. Um, yeah, yeah. This is Kuya is saying Ethiopia also ruled Arabia for 700 years. Parts of during the Aksumite Empire, the ruler of Ethiopia also ruled like parts of Sudan, Saudi Arabia, and they also found ancient his coins with his face and his name and his stamp in India. So which shows either he had they were paying tax to him or they were trading like the gold coins. It's an interesting story. I might even do history. I love history, so maybe we'll do history stories here. Regman said, "Bet Israel is true Israel. They practice a more pure form of faith." Yeah, feel free, our brother or sister. I don't even know if you're. I'm sorry. What was your name? You were named. Didn't I just read you? Yehuda. Let us know. Okay, fam. Oh yeah, Yehuda responded, "Yes, I have my Ethiopian look, but I also look like a Black Native American because my mother is mixed. I would love to get on with you all and talk about the roots and where I live now." Oh, that's so interesting. Yehuda, like my Instagram is this name, Wengil Zalalam, my channel's name. Go find me and then DM me, like send me, or my email on my Instagram. You'll see email, so you can send me, like this is me, Beta Israel, like we just chatted on live, and then we'll see which week we can slot you in, so you can come and you can talk to us and tell us more, because I would like to know a little bit more about that as well. So yeah, well, facts is saying Ethiopians are treated terribly in Israel, like blacks are treated in the US. Yes, I've heard so many stories, but it's Yehuda is the person on the ground, so she can tell us all about her interactions and how she lives and how everything is for her, right? Let's leave it to the people that have experienced it, and she can come and tell us. So Bruce, is it Bruce that asked that? No, it's facts, not feelings. So make sure when we bring here Yehuda, you're here so you can ask her all the questions, and she can explain to us how it is. She can share with us her lived experience. DS Lapster said, "My dream is to go to Ethiopia one day as we are victors over colonialism." You are so welcome. Please come visit us, and we would love to have you. And like honestly, across the board, maybe there are exceptions, but across the board, everybody I meet, like a Kenyan, Nigerians, like a Black American, they tell me that when they go to Ethiopia, like they're being treated like really well, and we're like that. Honestly, if you are from Ethiopia, just comment if I'm lying. Like sometimes it's a problem because we treat foreigners better than us. Like let's be real, right? So we really are hospital, and we really receive people from outside of Ethiopia really well. I think you'll enjoy your stay. Theodore said, my neighbors are from Ethiopia. Oh, cool. Oh, you're a gentleman. Sorry, Yehuda. Thank you so much, Wengil, and I'm a gentleman. Good, Yehuda. Just reach out. We'll have a conversation. We'd love to have you on. Arthur said like, number 90. Hit the like. Thank you, Arthur. I appreciate it. Thank you, Regman. And how is injera made? Oh, injera. Okay, it's a long process. It is a long process. We make it by using a specific grain. It's called teff, and that's what we use right now. I hear teff is becoming really famous outside of Ethiopia, like Europe and US, and they're selling it for a lot of money because it's healthy, it's gluten free. So that's like, it's a whole process. It's like a 3-4 day process, because first you have to let it ferment, and then you take it out. And I can even show. Okay, on my second channel, you guys, can I ask something, please? Since we're all here, I see 57 of you. Can you kindly go and subscribe for my on my second channel? I have a second channel. It's connected to this channel. So if you go to my channel and click on, I think it's on. Okay, wait. Don't go before we ask you something. So when you go to my channel, right? When you go to my channel, you see something that says channels. In the, like, there's community, there's about, there's playlist, right? The one that says channel. When you click on that, there's a channel linked to that says Wengel's Corner. I can even write it here for you. So what I'm trying to ask is, I will start posting more things on that channel, but that one is not going to be like just politics and like just me. That one is going to be what my interests are, or what I'm doing, or I can even vlog. I can do whatever I want to do. I want to have that freedom, because I don't feel like doing that on this channel for some reason. The only thing I'll do on this channel that is outside of this realm would be next week, God willing, if I finish editing it, I'll post a video on this channel, a little bit of a vlog that I filmed when I went to meet the president of Kenya, William Ruto, and also YouTube Black Voices Fund. I just graduated. I was part of the YouTube Black Voices 2023. So I just graduated last week. It was really so much fun to meet with Black creators from all over the world: US, Canada, UK, South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya. It was such a nice experience, and YouTube made that happen. So I have to say thank you. Like, they put us all together and we celebrated Black voices. So I'll definitely edit that video and put it up on this channel. But outside of that, any kind of, I don't know, reaction videos I want to make or vlogs, I'm going to post it on the second channel. For now, I haven't done anything on that channel, but I will. So go and subscribe to my second channel. That's like an ask from me to you. Okay, I don't ask for much, right? So go and subscribe to that other channel. It's called Wengel's Corner, okay? Oh, Yehuda said I was going to call you she. I'm sorry. He has subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing, Yehuda. Somebody said you look a little different in that pic. Which pic? Oh, on Wengel's Corner pic? Because I had a lot of makeup on there. I had lots and lots of makeup. So you look different depending on what you put on. But on the second channel, don't worry. You'll see raw, like no makeup. So feel free to go and subscribe. So yes, I do know. Thank you for asking. And I can make a video for you making it. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I can do something that can be consumed. Yeah, so thank you, Miss John Z. I think you're saying that for the Black creators and like meeting the president, probably. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, DS Lapster. Don't forget, after I end this live, to subscribe. Thank you, Miss Jonesy. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. We were here for 1 hour and 9 minutes. and it was a really lovely conversation. Thank you so much. As I said, like, I want to make this lives more interactive. Like, I want us to have conversations and stuff. So when you care about like a topic and you want us to talk about, like earlier somebody suggested Ethiopia and Eritrea and Uganda. Somebody else recommended Beta Israel. Oh, that was me. That was me. Beta Israel is me. I actually offered that conversation. So yeah, I will really for Lamb I subscribed. Okay, Bruce, ask me on the second channel. We'll talk about it. So yeah, thank you so much for coming. We're gonna have more people to have more conversations on everything that we care about, and that is our people, our Africa, and just having a better life. We deserve it. Like, it's just, we deserve it. Honestly, it's time. It's time to do better and be better and grow ourselves. Okay, thank you, Yehuda. Have a great day, and have oh, thank you. Said have a day as beautiful as you. Thank you so much, Yehuda. Okay, Letitia, thank you for coming through. Thank you, Kuya. So, fam, I'll see you. Okay, I think I'll post tomorrow, but if I don't, I'll see you next week. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I'll see you next time. Stay blessed. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe to my second channel. Bye.